Hi, it's me again, Urs here, Queen of Trades, doing another tutorial, but today's tutorial is mini monkey breads. As you can see, I already started getting stuff prepared so I wouldn't just be sitting here forever. So, here we go. What you need is some Pillsbury Duncan Hine biscuits. It's better to use the grand biscuits, but since I was on the little minis, I used just the regular country style ones. So what you need to do is have a grease pan of your choice. As you can see here, I got a mini cake pan. It has like little ridges and stuff on it, kind of like a bundt pan, but I have cut them up in fours. As you can see over here, I cut them up in fours and I stuck them in the pan. So I'm going to sit here and cut my last couple up so you can actually see what I'm doing. You want to slice them in half and then in half again. Be sure not to flatten out the dough. You want it to be puffy. It makes it easier. The way you see me peeling it is the same way you will peel the monkey bread away to eat it. That piece is kind of big, so I'm going to cut it again. So then you just take it strategically, place it in a pan. You want the pieces to touch so it can kind of, cook together. So you stick the pieces in, stack them together so they can touch each other. It's going to give you a nice rise. And they're going to be all connected. So when you go to eat it, the same way I'm peeling it apart is the same way you'll be peeling it apart to eat it. So I'm just going to go in some of these other ones, and this needs to be cut again. Again, you cut it in fours. If you want to use it, you can use a square pan, a circle pan, any type of pan you like. I like to be a little bit different and try something different, so I'm going to try the minis and see how this works out, because it's easier to handle if it's already divided up for you don't have to cut it. Monkey bread is basically just biscuits with a bunch of sugar and butter sweetness all over it. So today, with this set of monkey bread, I'm going to use raisins. And as you can see, the rest of my ingredients are here. So now I'm going to take my butter, which is a whole stick of butter melted. This is a half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to just dump that in. I'm going to use my handy dandy spoon here. And since it's the sugar, I'm going to just start mixing it so it don't start to, get clumpy or nothing like that. So I'm mixing this around. You want to mix it really good because you want to make sure you get that good thickness of the brown sugar. And it's looking kind of thin, so I'm going to apply some more brown sugar. Once you apply the brown sugar and mix it in, I'm going to put a little cinnamon in there just to give it more flavor. You can kind of doctor it up as much any kind of way you want. You can use... You want to make it kind of thick because you want to get that real gooey, like a sticky bun kind of feel. So that's why I'm mixing it, so I can make sure that it's not thin, it is really thick. Because when you mix it with the butter, that's pretty much what you get. A thick, syrupy substance. You can add sugar or honey. Today I'm using honey. Either way, it doesn't matter. That just helps give you more of a sticky bun effect. And as you can see, this is a little bit runny, but that's fine because we're going to apply honey. I don't really do measure. I kind of go for what I feel is enough. So that's what I'm going to do. You can't go wrong with something sweet like this. It'll just be more gooey. There's really no going wrong with it. This is an easy, quick, nice sweet treat that everyone will love. I mean, you can't go wrong with bread and sugar. You don't want to press it too much because, you know, you don't want to take the rise out of the bread. But in the same token, you don't want the raisins to rise out of it. You could have put them at the bottom, at the top. It's just your choice. So now that you can see it has a more thicker consistency, I'm going to stir this a little bit more. And then I'm going to just set this aside for now. The other ingredient that we're going to use is raisins. Raisins just give it that extra little spiciness that you may want. So I'm going to just drop some in here. Press them down a bit. Take it out. Like this. I'm going to just drop some of these at the bottom of some of these. And then place that on top. And hey, once this is done, you want to preheat your oven for 350 and let it cook for about, I say this, whatever the time is on your biscuits. And I would say add maybe about 10-15 more minutes to it. I mean, it's up to you. So you have to kind of see how it's cooking to see how much more time you need to add. But I would say all in all maybe about 15-20 minutes. And hey, how's it gonna hurt if we just drop a couple on top here as well? I say always take a cookie sheet and put under this just so you don't have no spillage, because sometimes this sugariness can run over. That's why a lot of times people use a deeper pan, but I just wanted to try something different this time. So if you put it on the top and on the bottom this way, you'll be sure to have raisins all through it. You can have it all throughout this here thing. So we're done with the raisins. Now we're going to go back to our mixture. We're going to mix it. Just make sure it's mixed well. You can feel how thick the honey is, but you give it a good enough stir. Nice heavy stir. And then meanwhile, we're going to take in some cinnamon. We can sprinkle this right on each one. I don't mind a lot of cinnamon. I'm like really making this monkey bread more fancier than it really needs to be. Put a little bit in my mixture so we can have it all throughout this here thing. So we're done with the raisins. Now we're going to go back to our mixture. We're going to mix it. Just make sure it's mixed well. You can feel how thick the honey is, but you give it a good enough stir. Nice heavy stir. And then meanwhile, we're going to take in some cinnamon. We can sprinkle this right on each one. I don't mind a lot of cinnamon. I'm like really making this monkey bread more fancier than it really needs to be. Put a little bit in my mixture. Don't overdo it. Stir it in. Make sure you want to always stir and get your excess off the sides. The last thing you do is hate to have big clumps of ingredients on the side, and then when you've done it, it's big clumps in the dessert. So here we go, our last and final step. We're going to take this, spoon it carefully all over and on and once I get done, I'm going to want to make sure that I wipe off any excess so it doesn't make it extremely hard to clean the pan. What I did was I did make sure I greased the pan prior to putting stuff in it very lightly with some oil. It seems about 2 spoons for each is enough. So I'm spooning each one of these. Once I'm done, then I can take and put this in the oven. What I usually do, I kind of go by how it looks. You know, sometimes with biscuits it say 10 minutes, and sometimes it say less time, just depending on how your oven is. The cooking time can vary. So I just say keep an eye on it. Usually when I'm doing something in cooking, especially baking, I kind of stay in the kitchen, because if not, I will totally forget about what I'm doing and the food will burn. So I say stay close by so you can easily get it out quickly if need be, because nobody needs to be wasting any food. So what usually happens is, as you can start to see, it seeps down to the bottom of the bread. So when the top part really browns, the bottom part is what really is going to get all the gooiness. Most of it anyway. So it kind of like cooks inside of it. Like, so it's kind of like dough inside of a sweet syrup, which it tastes really good. Again, as always, you can make it all kind of baking pans. You can put it in a bundt pan. You can put it in a regular tin pan. The last time I made it, I used a tin pan. Sometimes it's easier with the baking stuff if you're somebody who doesn't want to be scraping pans. You don't really have time, but you won't mind making a nice warm treat because it's winter time. And to me, cinnamon just says winter. So you can put it in that kind of pan and get a small one. I suggest a small one, because the whole key to making this monkey bread is the being able to stack the dough on top of each other, because that's what gives you the monkey bread look. That gives you the height of it. And the point of it is you can peel each piece. So I think it's going to be really easy to eat, because it's smaller pieces. Instead of having to slice it, it's going to be, you know, pretty much you get your own little small little cake, and you can pull it apart, or you can eat it with a fork, but you'll still be pulling it apart. You can top it with ice cream or whipped cream or nothing, because it's sweet enough, like a sticky bun, where you don't even need to use or do either. Now, since this is in this pan and it's pretty much full, I'm gonna just go over one more time. Since nothing wrong with using it all. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in the oven for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'll be back to show you the final result. So I'm back. This is the final results. It came out really good. Just a couple of tips. Be sure to put the raisins at the bottom, and make sure to grease the pan. This is it. It's time to chow on. As you can see, you can break the little pieces off and eat it. So it's chow time. Until next time, subscribe, like. It'll be plenty more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.